This is my Tesla Model Y. It's a 2024 base rear-wheel drive model. It was actually registered in early December 2023, so it's now just over a year old and it's done 15,000 miles. And on this video, I just want to quickly talk about the audio system in these cars, because this has Tesla's own premium audio, and it's one of the things I really like about this car. The sound is just absolutely amazing. So even though this is the base model, the rear-wheel drive with the LFP battery, in the UK, all the Tesla Model Ys have the same premium audio system. And that's different on the Model 3s because the rear-wheel drive on the Model 3 has a lesser spec audio system. And indeed, when they bring out the new shape of these, which are available as of today to order in the UK, the rear-wheel drive version, even though that's not out yet, when they bring out the rear-wheel drive version, they will be including a lower spec audio on the rear-wheel drive going forward. But until that new shape is out, all the Tesla Model Ys in the UK have the same audio system. And it's the premium audio, and in this case, it's got 13 speakers, 1 subwoofer, and 2 amplifiers. So that's 3 speakers along the front of the dashboard at the bottom of the windscreen. Multiple speakers in the doors and a tweeter up there. A speaker in the rear door. And speakers in the back in the rear hatch. And a subwoofer down there. And if I go into the service mode, we'll be able to see them. And then if we go to infotainment and speakers, we can then see all the speakers in the car. So looking along the top of the dashboard, we've got 100mm full range speaker on the left, another one the same in the middle, and then of course one on the right. And then we've got a 25mm tweeter in the right door, so that will be up in there. And then we've got a 200mm door woofer speaker and a 60mm Costco, don't know that word, in the right headlining. Oh, that will be that one up there. Forgot about those. And then we have a 100mm full range speaker in the rear door. And then in the boot, we've got those 200mm full range speakers in the back hatch. And then there's the subwoofer at the back. That says 2 icons because we've got channel 1 and channel 2. And then we've got the same on the left hand side of the car. And we've got one further one, which is your external speaker, which I'll demonstrate later on in the video. And then here we've got some tools that you can test the speakers. So this would be handy if you think you've got a blown speaker. So we can select sine, and that's now producing this sound out of all the speakers, which I'll just turn it down a bit with the volume there. And you can specify which speaker it's going to play out of, or you can remove them. Oh Jesus, that's that made my leg vibrate. So anyway, it's a very handy tool, and we could select media here. Now that's playing my media source through the speakers, and again we can select which speakers we want to test. It's quite cool. And then when you're using the sine as your source, at the bottom here you can change the frequency, so you can select the speakers you want and adjust your frequency to test those speakers. So what about the audio controls on the center screen here? Well, here I am playing music from a USB stick that's in the glove box, and this is some royalty free music, so hopefully I'll be able to play this okay on YouTube, and we can push there to get our audio controls up. And then here we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 band equaliser. And that's all pretty self-explanatory. We've got bass, mid and treble, and then one in the middle of each. And then this is the subwoofer adjustment. And then we can push that button there that resets them all to the middle. And then down the bottom here, we've got immersive sound, and this is where you can slide it between off, standard and high, or press auto, and then it will adjust depending on the audio source. And then we've got balance here, and this is where we can adjust the fader. Here we've got options. We can avoid explicit content, allow mobile control. This is where the audio will be in the Tesla app on your phone. And then under sources, this is where you can enable or disable the various music sources. So if you're not using some of these, like in my case, I'm not using Tidal, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, I can disable them so they don't come up in the list of choices of audio. And that's particularly handy if you're using the steering wheel buttons, the wheel, to change your audio source. Then it just gives you less choices if you've got some of this that you don't use disabled. So in terms of demonstrating the sound quality, that's pretty pointless doing that across YouTube, because you're not going to hear what I'm hearing. The sound quality your end on your phone, laptop, computer, TV, even if you've got a sound bar and subwoofer, it's not going to sound as good as it does here in the car. But anyway, I'll turn the volume up and turn the bass up. I must admit, it's not the best song to test the audio out on, but I was limited to what I could play and get away with on YouTube. So the quality of this system is just fantastic. I really do enjoy it, and it's certainly up there with the best. You can get better ones, of course, but on other vehicles you pay a lot more for a high quality audio system, often £1,000, £1,500 extra, something like that. Whereas on the Tesla Model Y, they all come with premium audio as standard, and it is a very, very good audio system. And this audio system is Tesla's own. It's all designed in-house. It's not branded with another audio company's logo. They have their own engineers working on the audio system. Apparently some of them are ex Bang & Olufsen. But yeah, clearly they've done a very good job. And the key thing here is they don't charge anything extra for it. So what I found with this system, obviously the audio quality is absolutely amazing. I love it. It's one of the best I've experienced, and I've owned some nice cars with upgraded audio before, but I would say this probably beats them all. It's very bassy if you want it to be. Also the door cards, even if you've got it turned up to the max and the bass really high, there's absolutely no rattle in the trims. On some cars it can make the door cards vibrate. Well, physically the doors vibrate, and then the plastic clips behind the door cards can vibrate a bit. And I haven't found this at all in the Tesla. Sometimes I've got a water bottle here and another water bottle. Sometimes they can vibrate, but that's acceptable. Obviously, if you've got things in the pocket and that door card is banging away, then it's going to make things in the pocket vibrate, but the actual trim doesn't vibrate at all. I also find there's not much noise goes outside the vehicle. It's insulated very well. On a lot of cars, if you turn the volume up, it's almost as loud outside as well, but very little noise transfer in the Tesla. I suppose my only criticism, and it's a very minor one really, is sometimes I do have to have the volume up quite loud. I do like loud music anyway, but sometimes I'm playing up around the sort of 75, 80, 85% volume, which I suppose isn't ideal. Potentially it's sort of starting to get distorted a bit at that volume, but that could be due to the music source. and most of the time I'm listening through Spotify, and that could be more down to Spotify and not the actual car. But anyway, the point of this video is really just to help people that may be looking to buy a used Tesla Model Y and may fall into the trap, like I say a lot of times, where people say that the rear-wheel drive has a lesser audio system. That's not the case on the Model Ys. That is the case on the Model 3s, but on these in the UK, all Model Ys have that premium audio system. And currently the same goes for the new 2025 revised model, the Juniper. And those actually have an improved audio system. They've now upped the number of speakers to 15, so those get 2 more speakers. And initially those were only available in the launch spec, so those have that premium audio as well. Maybe later on when they bring the rear-wheel drive model out, then that might have just the premium audio, which I think is 7 speakers. But anyway, we don't know yet what the UK specs will be, whether they will reduce the number of speakers in the rear-wheel drive or whether they will keep it the same like they've always done in the UK. So finally, let's just show you that external speaker out the front in action, the 14th speaker in this car. So if we go to boombox, we can then say play the current media. I'll turn the volume up. And then let's go outside. So on these, the speakers at the front on this side, behind the bumper, and the sound very much sounds like it's coming out at the bottom here. But it's difficult to hear today because it is very windy. We had that big storm last night and it's still windy here. And the trees, well, the wind going through the trees are making an awful lot of noise. But anyway, it works. And you get this graphic on the car to show you that the external speaker is working there. So I think that will do. Do leave your comments or questions below. And as always, if you found this video interesting, please do click the thumbs up. That really does help. Also, if you want to know more about the Tesla Model Y, there'll be a link below to a playlist where you can see other videos I've made on this car. And if you're thinking about buying a Tesla, then below is also the referral link where you'll get money off your new car. Okie doke, I'll see you on the next one.